Okay, our goal is to write an equation from a graph and table and situation. So let's review our parts of an equation. Our y is our output or dependent variable. Our m is our slope or rate of change. Our x is our input or independent variable. And our b is our y-intercept. Okay, so let's use a table to start. Okay. So my slope can be found by my rise over my run, which is my change in y over change in x. So I'm looking at how my y is changing to start. So it's going from 5 to 3, so it's going down 2. And my x is starting at 0 and going to 3, so it's increasing by 3. So my slope would be negative 2/3. My y-intercept is where the line is crossing the y-axis, so that is my b value. So that will be 5. So my equation in y equals mx plus b form is y equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. Okay, looking at our second example, my slope once again can be found by the rise over the run. So it's going from 4 to 8, so it's increasing by 4. And it's going from 0 to 2, so it's increasing by 2. So I have 4 over 2, which equals 2. My y-intercept is 4. And my equation is y equals 2x plus 4. Okay, so looking at our tables at the bottom, okay, I am first going to find my slope. Okay, so my slope again is change in y over change in x. So if I look from 2 to negative 2, I can see it's decreasing by 4. And 9 to 3, it's decreasing by 6. So my change in y is negative 4, and my change in x is negative 6. This simplifies to 2 over 3. My y-intercepts can't be found on my table, so let's review what a y-intercept is. So if you look on this table, you can see my y-intercept is 4. So my y-intercept is when x equals 0. So on this table, I don't see where x equals 0. So I'm going to use my equation to plug in and find my y-intercept. So I'm going to pick an x and a y value. I'm going to use 9 and 2. So for y equals mx plus b, my y is going to be 2. My m is 2/3. My x, I'm going to use 9. And I need to find my b value. So 2/3 times 9 gives me 6. And now I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides to find my b, and I have negative 4 equals b. So my y-intercept is negative 4. So my equation is y equals 2/3 x minus 4. Okay. Okay, on my next one, again, my slope is change in y over change in x. My change in y, it's increasing by 4. My change in x, it's increasing by 2. My y-intercept, 4 over 2 equals 2. My y-intercept can't be seen, so I'm going to use my equation again. Y equals mx plus b. This time I'm going to use 1 in 7. So my y is 7, my m is 2, my x is 1, and I don't know my b. So 2 times 1 is 2. Now I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides to find my b value, which is going to be 5. So my y-intercept is 5, and my equation is y equals 2x plus 5. Okay, so let's look at some special cases on the back of the notes. Okay, so you notice here that we have a horizontal line, and I have a vertical line. So if I think about my slope for this horizontal line, I don't have any change in y, and my change in x could be any number because it's going left and right infinite amount. So it's not increasing. There's no rate of change, so my slope would be 0. My y-intercept is -4. And I could write my equation as y equals 0x minus 4, but we know 0 times x is just going to be 0. So I'm going to have y equals -4. Okay, so my vertical line, my slope doesn't really even make sense. This is not a function. So since it's not even a function, I have an undefined slope. My y-intercept, there is none. And my equation this time is x equals 3. Because you can see that it's crossing at 3. Okay, so let's look at one last example. How do we write an equation when just given 2 points? So first I need to find my slope. So I'm going to have 9 minus -7. y2 minus y1 is what I'm getting. I'm using my slope formula. Sorry. So my slope formula, so I'm going to be doing 9 minus -7, and then 5 minus -3. So I'm going to have 16 over 8, which is going to give me 2. I don't know my y-intercept, but I do know an x and a y value, so I'm going to use my equation. Y equals mx plus b. My y value I'm going to use is 9, so 9 equals 2, and my x value is 5 plus b. So I have 10 plus b equals 9. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. -1 equals b. So my y-intercept is -1. My equation is y equals 2x minus 1.